number. We have someone in the waiting room that does not have their name on their device. So they won't be allowed in unless they change it to their name. So if anybody knows, invited somebody to the call, it's a 765 area code phone number. So
Hey,
uh,
Google.
check with your people that you're invited and just find out. Otherwise, you're going to miss the call. Cecilia, what do you think?
Yes.
What do you think of New Jersey's weather? Gosh.
Oh God. It's pneumonia weather. It's up and down. It's feeling quite fall-like and it is just changing. And when it gets warm like it is today, it makes us want to take down another layer and then we get sick. Here we go.
Yep,
That's
yep,
New
yep.
Jersey.
There's another person in the waiting room with an iPhone 340 area code. If you know who that is, ladies and gentlemen, can you just let them know to put their name on the device? iPhone 340 area code. Um, Cecilia, Miss Beth? I don't know if she's on the call. She said she was going to try to get on. She's a busy little bee right now. She's actually rented a big U-Haul truck. She's here in New Jersey right now, and she's headed back down to North Carolina with a bunch of stuff for those poor people in North Carolina.
Great.
So
Oh.
she's always jumps to action right away. So it's nice to have people like Beth, just like most of the
Three
people on.
three four 340 could be Mitch. It's a St. Thomas area code.
Is that
That number's no longer up there, so maybe
I just reached out to her, guys. Good morning. She's gonna put her name out there so she can get in.
Thank you,
morning.
thank you, thank you. We appreciate that. We do that just so that we can protect everybody here.
And you said 340 is Mitch? Who said that, David?
It could have been Mitch because it's U.S.
He's
Virgin
back
Islands.
on. It's back
Oh,
on.
it's not Mitch, it's Sonia. She's gonna be
Oh, okay.
putting her name up.
Okay, because she
Okay.
came back in as the phone number again.
Oh
the
wow.
765 is also back there?
Yeah, well, he's gonna stay there because they didn't even answer us. They're calling from a landline.
Yeah, if anybody, those of you that invited someone to the call, now and for future reference, just let them know that we police or we monitor the people coming into the waiting room, and only the people that have their names on their devices are allowed in. So if you did invite anybody, just check with them to see if their phone number is a 765 area code. Kind of some crazy stuff going on in before we get started. Just a quick mention, we talked about Beth taking stuff down to North Carolina. So much going on with that storm and controversy. We won't go into too much depth, but it's amazing the things that are happening, and a lot of stuff has been talked about a long, long, long time ago.
Look at Frank's new look. Wow. I'm sorry.
Right.
Hey, Frank is looking sharp this morning.
Okay. Nomad.
What do you say we get started with an inspirational video to shake off all the negativity? What do you think?
Sure thing. Sounds good.
Give everybody a couple of minutes with that video.
Mm-hmm.
4 minutes. Okay, great.
Here we go.
There are a few things you just can't learn from a textbook, that you have to live through, to see, to be fully entrenched in. Because here is a simple truth. This world is a tough place. Getting what you want, making the most of the time you have, requires that you put yourself in the position to succeed. It means you see a finish line before one exists. Look, no one's ever gonna call you and tell you how incredible your idea is. You can't build a business on potential or win a championship on promise. Results are binary. You either accomplished something or you simply did not. Right? That's it. That's what people see, the result. So that means every second, every step of the way from where you are right now until you cross the finish line depends on you and your thoughts. How you internalize failure, how you look at setbacks. When no one is around to pat you on the back or tell you how great you are, will you have enough self-belief to move forward? Because my friends, that's the hardest part. That's what no one talks about. Having the courage to wake up every single day of your life and know that you are building towards something incredible. You are creating a masterpiece from the ground up. And that means that when you're looking in the mirror, you believe in what's staring back at you. You see the unseen and you are willing to bring it to life. That is the foundation that you build greatness on. And it's a daily pursuit, creating milestones, designing the small wins that keep you going, that keep you moving, that get you past all those times you so desperately want to turn around, but know that for you, it simply isn't an option. That is not your reality. You have more waiting for you. And so you press on, cloaked in confidence, you move into the unknown, seeking the day the rest of the world looks up and calls you lucky. They'll look at what you built and say how fortunate you are, but they won't comprehend the 20-hour days, the focus, the ridicule for being different or obsessive or nonconformist. They won't know that self-belief trumped all of that. That it was everything. The word great is separate for a reason. It implies a specific set of beliefs and values. It means you saw light when most people saw darkness. It means you said yes when most people said no. You moved forward when the rest of the world turned around. Believe in your greatness. See it, live it. It is there, and you need to know that it's there. Because it will make all the difference. Your self-belief will define you.
Are you
Pretty empowering there, I'd say. What do you think, Cecilia?
That's a great video.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Absolutely great video. Very, very, it just speaks to us. We have to believe in ourselves and pursue what we want and be that one to say yes when others say no. We have to see it. There it is. You know, some people have sight without vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an action-packed presentation today because, as most of you may be aware, Virgin Financial Service has been part of our group here for a while, waiting in anticipation as these three gentlemen go through the challenges of getting things into play. A lot of challenges. Right now, Mitch actually is facing a challenge with trying to get onto the call. He's having some technical difficulties. We're hoping and praying that he'll make it here, but I have total faith and confidence in Dennis and David to get the ball rolling for all of you.
Hey,
Virgin
Michael,
Finan-
before you start the introduction, do you want to do the disclaimer?
Right. Before we get started, so I was just going to say that. We were thinking the same thing. Before we get started, though, yeah, we do have some technical stuff to take care of. So Miss Cecilia, who's a graduate of Evelyn Woods, has offered to take care of that. So with that being said, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this. Cecilia, when you're ready, you can take it away.
I am ready. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the call. This is a disclaimer. The information shared here on Coffee and Crypto with Big Daddy is not to be intended as financial advice. Our objective is to share information in the crypto digital asset space as well as other valuable information and not to imply any financial recommendations. It is up to you, the individual, to get all the questions answered by a financial advisor or expert on a particular information shared before making any decisions. We are not financial advisors or experts. Any information conveyed here should be considered just that, information and not financial advice. One, a few simple rules. Sorry, Coffee and Crypto with Big Daddy, a few simple rules. One, no cross promoting, verbally or in the chat. This call was incepted to help those individuals that wanted to learn more about the cryptocurrency digital asset space as well as other topics of importance and not to create confusion. We never intended on utilizing this call for promoting any specific opportunity or platform, but to bring awareness of something that might be helpful to the community. If someone cross promotes, they'll be removed from the call and not allowed to return, and we don't want that to happen. Two, no cross recruiting, verbally or in the chat. Cross recruiting on this call is strongly prohibited. We are firm believers in lineage. There may have been someone who felt it was important to share with you about this call or whatever opportunity you may have ventured into that could have opted for you to join us on this call. With that being stated, you always should revert to that person or sponsor about any opportunities mentioned here on this call. And if your direct sponsor isn't familiar with that opportunity, then reach back out to Michael Big Daddy to get you to the right person or lineage, so to speak. Anyone found cross recruiting will be removed from the call and not allowed to return. And we don't want that to happen. Three, who have courtesy and respect for others. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll do our very best to answer everyone's question in the duration of the call. If you're not sure how to raise your hand on the call, please ask in the chat and someone will help you. Please be respectful when others are speaking and allow them to finish what they're saying before you speak. Please do not talk inappropriately about someone else here. Save those comments for somewhere else, not here. And if you feel you have that need, my mama always said, if you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything at all. It's as simple as that. And four,
I love when you say that, Cecilia. My mama always said.
For video camera and microphone use, please be sure to operate your video camera or microphone appropriately. Please make sure to have your microphones muted upon getting on the call. Inappropriate language or camera views will never be tolerated at all, and you'll be removed and not allowed to come back. And we don't want that to happen. These guidelines may be changed at the sole discretion of the host or co-host at any time. Finally, one final note. This call was established and intended solely to help others to have a better understanding of the crypto digital currency space as well as other information and to experience a fun time doing it. That will always be our intent. We want everyone to take away from the call that type of experience, and we strive to do better. So feel free to reach out to Michael Big Daddy Haddock with concerns or things you would like to see on this call in the future. He can be reached via email at coffeeandcryptowithbigdaddy@gmail.com or text 908-754-8363. And the video credit goes to Kathy Haddock. Kathy takes pride in providing an awesome experience for us and works hard at researching and the selection of our video call for each week. Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your
Yeah.
patience. We have people from all around the world here today because, Dennis, I think they love the VFS concept and want to hear all of the updates and what's going on. Before we get started, though, Cecilia, if you're able to just keep a monitor on the Telegram community group. Tyrone was having some trouble with getting in. I think he's here now, though, so just in case anybody else posts in there. But how's everybody doing? I think we started off by talking a little bit about the crazy events in the world today, especially with the poor victims of Hurricane Helene. Frank, I know, is down in Florida, and he's been relaying information to me in regards to the west coast of Florida and the devastation down there. And it's my heart goes out and prayers to all those people that are affected by that. Those that may have lost a loved one or the destruction that's been caused by this. But why don't we just real quick, and then we'll get right to you next, Dennis. Let's just take a moment of silence and just think about those people and the suffering that's going on for them. So. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for that. And thank you all for being here this morning. VFS, as I said, is going to change a lot of lives, and that's what Dennis and David are here. Dennis, did we get connected with Mitch or not yet?
David, has he?
No, we weren't able to get a hold of him. He's looking for another device to be able to use, apparently.
Okay.
So we're just going to wait for him to try to get another device here, and he'll pop on probably.
Okay. I think Mitch is out of the country too, if I'm not mistaken. Is he over in the Virgin?
He's over in the Virgin Islands, which isn't
Right.
always isn't the easiest place to get service when you're around. So
Yeah, and
especially
Mitch
if it's
is
cloudy and overcast, because we work off of Starlink. So
right. Yeah,
Just
Mitch
like,
is the
just
And
like
for
you
those
said,
of you that saw the email, Mitch is the CEO of Virgin Financial Services, but we do have David, who's the president, Dennis, who's the vice president. So they're going to take over. We hope that Mitch can get on at some point. So without further ado, because I know these guys have a lot to offer to us with information on Virgin Financial Services. If you don't have a pad and pen, this is your opportunity right now to take notes. We will have a question and answer period at the end of their presentation. So get your notes jotted, your questions jotted down for them after they're finished. And we will follow the same process we always do here by virtually raising your hand. If you're not sure how to do that, we'll help you in the chat to get you acclimated with that. So Dennis Gray is in Las Vegas, or most importantly, Nevada. Not like, I don't think you're in Las Vegas, right, Dennis? But you're in Nevada.
well, I am in Las Vegas, but in the outskirts, just like David. David and I are both, David and I are like 10 minutes apart.
Got you.
Somebody decides to call me.
So let's kind of start by maybe the new people on the call. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to this call, you can be here every week. We can let you know that 340 number just came into the waiting room again. We can let you know it by putting you onto our contact list. And on the contact list, once a week on Fridays, just once a week, we'll send an email out to everybody letting you know what the upcoming call is about. And I bet you that's why we have over 70 people here on this call, because they all saw the email yesterday. So good for you guys. But Cecilia is going to put in the chat a link that you guys can click on and just fill out the information. Down at the bottom, there's a little message box, and you can also put in here. We record these calls every Saturday, and then they get uploaded into our video library on Telegram. So if you put in the message box that you're interested in being part of our Telegram group as well, we'll get you in there. Just remember, you have to be registered with Telegram. And we have two groups. We have a community group where we communicate back and forth. That's how Tyrone was able to let us know that he's having some trouble getting on the call, and I know he's on the call now. So a lot of information shared in that community group throughout the week before we come to our next call on the following Saturday. Upcoming calls for this group. Next Saturday, Dennis is going to be here to give a presentation on UNAs, unincorporated nonprofit associations. We have our two young ladies, For Real Seal and AKA Mrs. Satoshi, who are going to be going over Crypto 101 and 102 towards the end of October. And then in November, the first Saturday in November, we have Mr. Mariano Cacuz is back. He was away for a while, and he's back now, and he's excited to get on the call and share about real estate investing. Those are some of the upcoming calls that are coming up. I wanted to get that out of the way so everybody knows, especially if you're new to the call. So don't forget, click on that link in the chat and get your information to us so we can get you onto our contact list and get you into our Telegram groups. Thank you for your patience, Dennis. I'm going to go ahead and pop you up on the screen here, and you are the main man of the hour. So go ahead, Dennis. Tell everybody a little bit about Virgin Financial Service, and then maybe you can go into the updates afterwards.
Okay, thank you very much. And just like your video, that's what Virgin Financial has been struggling to get ourselves up. Not struggling meaning that we haven't got everything together. We've got everything together, but we haven't been able to get it open to where everybody can join us in. We are open. We are operating on the Virgin Islands. We're operating several different places. We got about 135 or more applications being used by such people as Capital One 360, Crypto.com. There's that many people using our system because we are a financial technology company. So in that line, let me tell you what we are. We are not a bank. We are a trust out of Switzerland and Sweden, and we are able to offer banking as a service. Banking as a service, we're able to offer exchange, or exchanging cryptos to dollars or whatever, the 33 different fiat currencies, or to any other cryptocurrency. You'll be able to do that. We are globally licensed. So that means that you can hook up with any bank anywhere in the world and transfer your funds to anywhere in the world. Anybody with a cell phone, as long as they're doing legitimate business, will be able to do business with us. And there are almost 8 billion cell phones globally. So even if you're on check systems, if you're a marijuana dealer, a legal marijuana dealer, CBD or ammunition dealer, you will be able to open an account with us as long as those things are legitimate. Okay, so these are the beauties. Now, we operate on a blockchain, satellite encrypted virtual private network. That means that everything that's on your cell phone when you are with us, all your YouTube channels, your Facebook channel, everything will be yours and yours alone, and nobody will be able to get in there and censor you, do whatever they want to do to stop you from publishing your materials. I think that we are light years ahead of everybody else. The people that have purchased our white label apps, as we call them, they are limited liability partners with us. They are going to be in for the ride of their lives, because I think David and I and Mitch were talking just a few days ago about the value. And when it comes to the value is where we are talking about giving everybody a chance to be what we call have some beneficial interest in the company. We are not allowed to sell shares in the company. So we will be going IPO sometime, I don't know, by the end of this year or beginning of next year. And when we do, your shares, that your beneficial interest can be converted to the shares, and the beneficial interest value is going to go tremendously. Right now, anybody that comes in and donates a minimum of $1,000 into the beneficial interest website that we have, they will get double the value of beneficial interest, which will be convertible to shares when the shares are available. Now, Mitch, I mean, not Mitch, I don't think Mitch is on yet, but David, I'd like to bring you on and explain the balance about how the shares and the ISAW program is working out for people who want to get involved with us. David?
Yeah, hi everybody. Good morning, and get you caught up a little bit here. I just want you all to know that we're excited. There's a lot of things in place that we knew we didn't have, and we have to come to an understanding that we're in an economic world. We're dealing with some really look, this is a disruptive technology, and when you deal with that, we're going to have to deal with certain people that are going to come after us in many different ways. So much so that we've had to get creative about how we launch, where it doesn't look like we're launching, but we are. So one of the strategies that we've now come up with, and there's not a huge amount I can say about that. The platform ISAW is going to be, in our opinion, one of the strongest parts of what we're doing. It's a platform where you can smart contract, you can you can what do they call, copyright, publish onto a platform where now all that content and all that all that content you put out is now it's yours. It's not YouTube's anymore. It's not any of the other platforms that would do similar stuff. It's in a blockchain. It's satellite encrypted. It's secured. So
the virtual private
Yeah,
network that prevents
it's a
anybody.
virtual private network. So any content you put up, whether that's a video of a UFO or somebody doing an exchange in politics, or if it's your own music, if it's your own stuff, it can all be put onto one platform where now you can smart contract with it. And let's say you have a video that's very, very successful in views. Now you can negotiate with the people who buy those videos through the news networks and everything else. And now YouTube or one of the other platforms isn't making 90% of the profits on that. That goes directly to you. And that leads me into trying to explain that what we're offering here in a platform isn't only a financial technology. It's also it's going to create a whole new world of an economic forum, which means cryptos. Here's a good example in cryptos. There's a lot of coins that we would have to say aren't part of a platform where they can have a value. But here, the value is based in the mechanism that you're able to use to make those things have value. You can smart contract with them, and you can create something now that, well, like I said, is the best way to explain it. It's like a Pokemon card, right? If you trade something within the platform, as long as it's all legal to trade and stuff, I don't care if you pay $100 for a Pokemon card, if you pay $10 for it, it doesn't make a difference. Our system's the exchange. It's the platform where you can smart contract. It is the platform now where you can do things you want with the groups of people you work with, and allows you that mechanism to do it so you can be creative with your life. We always try to use the example of a person in a third world country now who is an incredible artist can get on their phone, etch a little picture on there, and because they're really good at this, copyright it, publish it, and overnight sell 1 million copies at 25 cents for a screensaver. What other platform in the world were you able to do that and create that kind of an economic situation for somebody who never had access to anything like that? A lot of the stuff that's coming into play right now is, you can see around the world and even in our country a lot, there is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of stuff happening that, and believe me, none of the big banks like, none of the people in power like either, because disruptive people are coming back into position. A lot of this stuff was only able to do because of certain how you say, executive orders that were put into place when Trump was in office. And I'm not promoting or doing any campaign. I mean, I have my own personal views, but none of this would have been able to do unless he had put things into position so the central banking system couldn't interfere anymore. And that's really the people we battle against, is that, which is the central banking system. And it's the people we're dealing with right now. Down on the island, if you can just look up all the stuff on the news there. If you look at the local news on the island, you'll see there's a lot of people being arrested and taken down, because that's led into New York and everything else. And most people don't realize the connections that we've all been part of.
So, David, what's the benefit of anybody donating to ISAW, and what's going to be their exit strategy by simply making a donation to ISO? What's going to happen to those people?
The benefits to the people who donate to ISAW is when the company goes public, or when we go into an IP, when we go public, you'll be able to trade in your donation for how would you say, shares in the trust that runs ISAW. ISAW will be the next YouTube, I believe, and it will be a platform for where people can express themselves a lot more on a platform that than any other in the world, as well as it'll have a fully integrated payment system built into it. So those shares will be that donation. I can't really call it shares. What would we call it then?
Beneficial interest.
Yeah, those beneficial interests you have in ISAW
Will be
you
converted.
got to understand. Yeah, it'll be converted into shares in ISAW if you choose to do so. Just to give you
currently, we are doubling the value that they put in, as long as it's $1,000 or more. Correct?
Yes, so anything you put in 1,000 above will be doubled. So if you put 1,000, it'll be redeemable for 2,000. The other thing is so just to give you an example, if you only own, if we only took 1% or 1/4% of what YouTube has around the world right now, that company would be worth over $100 million. In value, if we were to take just 1/4% of what YouTube does right now. And I believe we're going to be able to do a lot more than that. It was an easier way of advertising because Google Ads and a lot of the companies we deal with advertising are less expensive for platforms like this than they are for financial technologies. Although we'll have financial technologies built into this. So right now we're offering that because it's in development and everything is it's almost ready to go right now. I can't say it's. I have to be very careful about what I say on launching, because every time we've announced some type of launch or a date or a time, it's really messed us up. I mean, I hate to say people are listening, but they're listening. So we do know that now. So it is going to be very soon. Will you be able to go onto the platform and register there and put it in? Right now, we're doing it through ISAW, an account that we will take the funds in and issue you a receipt. That receipt is tax deductible 100% because it is a nonprofit, right, Dennis?
Yes, it's a UNA, so you'll be donating to the UNA, and that is tax deductible for the value that you put in, and you get double the value for the beneficial interest, which is, I would akin this to buying Bitcoin at 5 cents or 10 cents and, sitting back and waiting to see what happened. Now, we do have the spelling of ISO. If, just like you had it there, ISAW will be the website. ISAW.U, I think is what it is. So it'll be ISAW, okay? ISAW.U will be the website. But if you want to jump ahead of the website coming in, you can, and I will send Big Daddy the what do you call it, link to Zelle, or send a check or whatever to EYESAW, and that's the bank account name. And if you Zelle your funds in there, then you just send me a copy of your receipt for the amount of money that you put in, your name, your email, and your phone number, and then we will be back in touch with you. You will get a certificate saying that you have an authentic founding position in the trust. So you will be there as a founding member with double the value.
Now you can donate as little as 500, but only up to 1,000 do we do double receipt. So the lowest amount you can do is $1,000. I mean the lowest amount is 500. Sorry, but anything over 1,000 we'll do double receipts. Now that is a limited time. Once the site launches and is fully out there, that double receipt goes away.
So the thing is, you want to jump in ahead of time if you can do. And if you have only $500 this week and you expect another 500 next week, you can still get to your 1,000 by doing that.
Yeah, and this is for development. Everything is for hardware development and everything to put it out, and it's kind of like a crowdfunding to get it going. We're just allowing you to participate and also be part of it.
And David, talking about crowdfunding, people need to know about our cryptographic solutions for crowdfunding. Most of the people will go to, crowdfunding sites and fund other projects. Like right now, people are funding the relief effort in North Carolina and Tennessee, and you got nothing for it. But let's say you have a good project, like you got a great movie ready to come out. There's a second Rocky that's going to come out, and you want to get involved in it. Well, the people who are sponsoring that movie could put out what we call cryptographic solutions. They could sell crypto coin for that, for maybe $10 or $100 or whatever, and based on the value of what that movie is going to, if it's a blockbuster and it makes $100 million, then your $110 or $100 coin is going to go up in value. So that's basically what cryptographic solution is about. Instead of having a GoFundMe website to do it where you get nothing, now you have crypto given back to you for what you have funded, and that's going to increase in value, hopefully, based on how good of a movie you have put out, or whatever project it is. It could be NFTs, it could be anything else that you have. It may be a blockbuster painting that you put out, or whatever, something brand new that comes out, but you use the cryptographic solutions to build that, then the people who participate with you are going to increase in value. Right, David?
Yeah, so I love what Dennis says. This gives you a creative playground to play for those people who have ingenious ideas or different things that they want to raise up. And what it does is it puts it into a legitimate system of ledgerization, right? Which means that now everything's traceable. It's not like you're just raising money and nobody knows where it goes. Now there's a ledger behind it. Now there's an actual mechanism that allows people to look and say, wow, they've raised this much and this is what they're doing with it. Wow, this is it. It's already under smart contract and we already have everything in place so that once it's used, that ledger will allow people to see where the funds are going to as being part of it, or seeing how the project's going. It gives you a mechanism where everybody can go to now and have their own basic personal social media platform, basically, right? Yeah. Which means that creates that whole thing for you.
And remember this, it's the Virgin Financial System is a private network. Okay, so when you come in, we have a KYC on you. We know who you are. We've got your social security number, etc. But when you go into Virgin Financial, you get an account number. Your social security number is not tied to that account number. You now can not only put your funds in there, but you can put your house, your boat, your car, whatever, jewelry, etc. into the trust as assets under management so that you can get in there and protect your assets, because nobody will be able to know it belongs to you. Every transaction you do will be done by the trust and not by you. So if I was to send money to David and he's in England, well, the money goes from me in dollars to whatever currency, crypto or pounds or whatever it is that he wants in an instant. At the moment that the value is, remember this, everybody anywhere in the world that comes in and hooks up their bank account to us, that money all goes into the trust, even though that bank account shows in that country that it's still there. The money is not with that bank. That bank cannot use that money for any kind of increasing their asset values or anything. The money is in a trust. So if moving money from one place into the other anywhere in the world is simply debit Dennis, credit David, and the money never moved, it's still in the trust. So that's the beauty of the way things will be with us.
So let
Yeah.
me just interrupt for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the call, you may have not experienced, but what we do to keep the load off these guys is, as much as possible. If this is something that is of interest to you, you want more information, if you want to be put in contact with Dennis, just send us an email to coffeeandcrypto@bigdaddy@gmail.com. We'll get your make sure you include your contact information if you're new to the call. And we will get that information over to Dennis. We'll compile a list of people that are interested for more one-on-one information, and we will put you in contact with Dennis. And that's our general practice with any presenter, because we know that they can get bombarded with a whole bunch of people that are interested. So again, that's coffeeandcrypto@bigdaddy@gmail.com.
David, I wanted to clarify something. I remember correctly a couple of days ago when we talked with Mitch about the ISOL website. He said it'll be taking any kind of cryptos or dollars, etc. Right, David?
Yes.
So whatever currency you're dealing with, the website will take that in and convert it to the proper amount of dollars that you want.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, and I don't like to use North Carolina and these other places as an example, but they are an example of what this system was developed for. When you're on a ledgerized system, the ledger is basically on your device, which means when you have a payment solution, like one of our applications, say it was even ISAW, those people who are in areas that don't have power right now, as long as they can get power to their phone, they can spend money. The ledger will, when everything comes back on, that ledger will justify everything in the moment, which means it'll keep it stored. And when everything comes back to getting connected to the banks and stuff, it'll justify all the purchases and everything else. So your QR code will still work as a payment device, even though there's no powers. You can literally trade between phones, which means now a phone becomes your payment device. And I want to use this example because this is one of the things our system was created for, is in natural disasters. If everybody's on a platform like this and they have a QR code, they can do a phone bump and people can do payments right through their phone. They don't have to have a terminal. Our ledger, our system ledgerizes the transaction and justifies it when everything gets hooked back up to internet, if you understand what I mean.
Actually, David, ironically, I have people that I know in that area that you're referencing, and that is exactly what happened. No power, no water, but they were able to get out on their phones. So,
well,
Yeah.
one of the things about having no power, I'm going to suggest that anybody and everybody do what I have done, is bought a solar power up system for your cell phone. So at least when the sun comes out, you can charge your phone. There you go. You got it. One of those is a must-have based on what has happened in Tennessee and North Carolina. Okay? You get one of these and keep it just in case that 980 number has come back on.
Oh,
Get-
980? 980 is Mitch, I think.
No, it's 908.
908 is New Jersey. Well, I could be Mitch.
You want to see whether that 980 is Mitch? I don't know.
I let them in. I think that's Inez's number from before the call started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Miss
sorry.
Brooks.
Okay, sorry, because he's a Jersey number too, Mitch.
Yeah, it's
that's
908, not 980.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, because Big Daddy is in New Jersey too, so he knows.
Yeah, Dennis, did you have more information to share, or did you want to move over to question and answer time?
Yes, let's just do
Yeah.
question and answers right now.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please be respectful to anyone. I don't think the microphones are under any control restraint. So just be courteous to someone who's talking. And if you have a question, just raise your hand for Dennis or David virtually, and we'll take those questions in the order that they pop up. So right now we have Dennis. I know you know Evelyn, Miss Evelyn Fentress. Did you want to pose your question, Evelyn?
Yes, you mentioned, I was wondering about asset protection, and do you have to pay taxes with this trust since it's in a UNA?
If it's in a UNA, you won't. Okay.
The bank that you're this trust that you're talking about, does it work like a UNA that you will be protected?
No. A trust, if you are a trust and you are under your social security number, you're going to pay your taxes. The beauty about this is your ledger is kept from day one, from the day you come in. The accounting is to the 12th decimal point. Okay. So at the end of the year, you will not need a CPA or a bookkeeper of any kind. You push a button and your entire ledger for the whole year is unauditable. You'll be able to go to your taxman and do your taxes for whatever state you're in, unless you happen to be in a UNA. Then you don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Okay, this system that you have, because you were saying, I'm confused, you were saying it's like a UNA, or were you saying that?
No, I didn't say it's like a UNA. I said it's a trust system.
Okay, a trust, and you have to pay taxes, and
You are a social security number person. Yes.
okay. Well, is it protected? Is it the money that you put in?
Yeah, everything is protected in that trust. Remember, it's in a trust. Okay. So once you put the money into the trust under your social security number, your accounting, your ledger is kept for you all the way till the end of the year. Okay. So there's nobody who knows that you doing anything. Everything is done by the trust. If you went out and bought a Lamborghini, you didn't buy it. The trust bought it.
Okay.
At the end of the year, when you push that button and you get your accounting, that's now coming to you, and you say, okay, here's my social security number that's attached to this account, and I'm going to pay the tax on it.
Okay. Okay. So like if you put $1 million or anything in there, it will be, I'm saying, like banks can only put.
It'll be accounted for all the way till the end of the year.
Okay, so let me interject here for a second. If you put a large sum of money, here's the great thing about what the trust would do, is that money may be taxed. I mean, we just had a situation where somebody repatriated an account, and it was a large account, and she was very worried about repatriating the money because she was going to get hit hard on the taxes. By doing it in the manner we've done it through the trust and putting it into the system, that money is not taxed until it's repatriated. which means the money goes into the trust, it sits in the trust, and when you spend it, that's when the tax applies. But until that point, it doesn't. That money would be tax-free until the point of purchase of what you spent, right? So if you went out and spent $100, it would be taxed. That $100 would be taxed. It wouldn't be taxed on the 2 million. It'd be taxed on the $100.
Okay. Okay. My final question is banks only insure up to 250,000. If I have $1 million in the trust, it will, if something happens to your country, the $1 million would be protected?
It would be protected for the full amount, yes.
Okay. That was it.
And
That
the
was it.
reason we're able to do that, a lot of people say, how do you do that? Is because the money in the trust doesn't move. It sits there. So if you have a system, and one of the benefits to our system, it was developed to stop cyber theft. It was developed to stop hacking. When you're in a closed loop system, it's probably one of the most protected systems out there. I guess we could debate all day that if a blockchain is hackable. I could argue a good story it isn't, but probably somebody could argue it might be. We're not only we're satellite encrypted as well, and we're a closed loop system, which means it's only by invitation only that people get in, and we do background check. We do a thorough background check to make sure that people that are getting in aren't people that will hack. Plus, the blockchain blocks it helps it from there. And the way the system works is your money, it's like a crypto, which means your money's in a place where it's not really, that's not your money. It just looks like it is, right? So to find it would be like finding a needle in a haystack, which means I could take $100 and separate it into $1 in 100 different banks. And it only shows up as a digital aspect, if you can understand that. So the security part of it is incredible. And our system was developed to stop cyber theft. And because cyber theft is over $1 trillion a year at this point.
Okay,
Amazing.
Okay,
Amazing.
thank you, David. Dennis,
we got
but
more.
people have their hands up with questions. Dennis, Frank, you had your hand up and I saw it went down. Did you have a question for?
I think Dennis partially answered it. I wanted to just know about what type of risks are there involved with doing this, if there are any. But I think Dennis kind of covered a lot of that.
Yeah, no, it's the most risk-free way of putting your money. Now, is there a disadvantage? I could say if there was any type of disadvantage, I would say some people would look at it as it's not an interest-bearing account, which means you're not going to take your money somewhere and make a quarter point on it or an eighth of a point or whatever the bank feels necessary or generous enough to give back to you. Okay. But your money is more accessible to you to do what you want with it, which means if you see something that is a great, we like to use the analogy that many hands make light work. When you bring a lot of people into a system and the bank is not capable of touching that money. So let's say we had 50,000 people with 2,000 plus in their accounts apiece, right? Now you can go to the bank and leverage them. Basically, that's what it is, because that money is not usable by the bank. It's not their asset any longer, and it's sitting there in their systems, and they're just salivating over it. Well, now we can go negotiate with the bank to say, hey, you need some money? We got over 100 million over here, and then we can offer to our members of our system the availability to say, okay, transfer my money from here over to this, and you can make 15 or 10 points on it, more points than you would ever make sitting in a bank system. Now you're using the bank, but you're using it on your terms, if you understand what I mean. Now that leverage gets put back into the people's hand. Now the people lend the money to the bank, not the bank with the people anymore. We've just turned the whole situation on them by many people. Sorry, go ahead.
David, wouldn't also the people be able to use our trading bots and trade in any one of the different areas, oil and gas and stocks and bonds and platinum, whatever? They'll be able to trade with the 12 different bots that we have, right?
As the systems get put into place, there'll be so many different vernaculars that people will be able to participate within to do money, make money. And bots is one of the places. I mean, eventually somebody's going to make a place where people can go get low credit loans, or somebody can just push a button and get a loan in 5 minutes. There'll be so many different aspects. It's all based off the creativity of people who have never had an opportunity to bring something to market, and now they have a platform where they can bring it right to market. If you understand that.
Does that answer your question for you, Frank?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Frank. David, thank you. Avril has her hand up and has been very patiently waiting. Avril, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. Good morning, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yes, you sound wonderful.
Great. Thank you so much for bringing us this information again. But I would like it if the individuals from Virgin Financial could give, a brief update on where they are at with Virgin Financial Services. I knew a few months ago it was virginfinancials.com. I did the KYC. The KYC was approved. Now, when I go back to that website, it's saying the website cannot be found. I'm not sure if they're up and running, who can participate. If they can just give a brief synopsis of where they are at with that, I would be, grateful. And how
Okay,
Dennis involved.
I think Dennis and David were going to address updates as well. We do have a bunch of people with questions in the chat and also with their hands up. So if you guys could give a brief answer for that so we can get to all the questions, that would be great.
It's virginfinancialservice.com, not Virgin Financial. Okay. So you need to go to virginfinancialservice.com. But
yeah, it's still up.
Right. It shows
up
there. Right. I've got it on my cell phone. So it's still up. The thing is that all the people that registered, we have over 30,000 people that went in and registered. They cannot go back in and get download and start moving forward yet until we get the ISAW program up. Once we have that up, then we will open it up for everybody. And that's what we've been struggling, trying to get that thing up. And every time we go to get it up, there's some thing that's put in our way that we have to overcome before we move forward.
Well, let's put it this way. We're getting creative about how we launch now. And one of the reasons this is one of the reasons Mitch is not on the phone right now, is because like over 3 weeks ago, his phone almost burnt his pocket off. So, dude, these people have devices and means of doing stuff to stop people it's crazy. I will be down in the Virgin Islands here in the next few weeks to start onboarding people. So that'll just give you an indication that how I can't give you a time frame exact day we're doing stuff, because we're done doing that. We've been thwarted every time we put a date out. So I can tell you we're utilizing mechanisms now to be a little sneaky, but at least they won't know what we're doing. So
we are approved by the DOD, the Treasury, and 100% compliant with the Securities and Exchange Commission on everything we do globally. Okay, so people have asked how are we going to be able to give you double the value, etc. It's based on our growth. We know what's happening on the people that are coming into the system. We already have 7.5 million Google ads out, and we're bringing in people from all over the world, mainly South America right now. Right, David?
Yeah, South America, Central America, Mexico, and certain islands in the Caricon right now. And the reason why is that it's strategic. Fortunately, there's a huge amount of migrants that have come over that are on a system that the government, an application system that the government has put them on that isn't working. So we're integrating some stuff so that there's a plan behind that, believe me. So because our biggest fear is who's sending money where, right? Who's doing what across borders here? Because this is where the cartels are being able to do their dirty business. So we were directed in another direction real quick, and that's one of the reasons. I can't tell you everything about that, but I can tell you in the background there is things being done to solve some really large problems we're dealing with right now with the overwhelming migrants coming over the border.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for that. So if I understand correctly, right now it's to get involved in ISA, and that would open the door for us to be involved in Virgin Financial.
No, you don't have to be an ISA to get involved with Virgin Financial. If you get involved with $1,000 or more, you will get double your value of beneficial interest in the company. It is not shares. We cannot sell shares. That
All
would
right.
be security. We're not selling shares. We're just giving you beneficial interest. And that beneficial interest will be convertible to shares when you choose to cash in your beneficial interest. And
Okay.
hopefully you will hold it until we go IPO, so the value will go bananas on you, okay? And
Understand that. Okay.
that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Okay. So Dave said he will be onboarding people. How would we know when because I live in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, hence the reason why I'm really trying to figure out how to move forward. I have a lot of people on this island and in the Virgin Islands that are very interested in getting involved, you know,
Well,
so it's just a matter of
if you're
finding
down
out.
there, you'll see
Yeah.
what's going on with DPNR, and you'll see what's going on with some of your political people, and your there's a lot of people having problems down there right now with not lawsuits, but indictments and different
everything,
things.
everything.
Matter
Yes,
of fact,
I got it. I just want to make sure that we don't miss the opportunity to get
Yeah.
onboarded once things get up and running. So I'll reach out to
unfortunately,
Michael.
unfortunately, those people had to get indicted, and things had to happen for us to go, because I believe me, you know what it's like down there if you live down there.
Yes, I do.
It's in, you know, Mitch walks around the island now with people hugging him and thanking him because WAPA and DPNR, Mitch started the whole thing with WAPA. The only reason a class action lawsuit exists with WAPA right now is because of him.
Oh,
and he's the only guy on the island with proof.
Oh,
and
wow.
documentation on the whole thing. Believe me, they were messing with us, not just cellular phone wise, via all
Everything,
these guys.
everything.
Oh, dude, they were hitting us every direction we could get. It was like crazy.
So that
Commissioner Gordon on the island is Mitch's friend now.
Oh yeah, Mitch's.
Yeah,
you'll see. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening there in the next few weeks. The next
all
month,
right, so I'll
believe me.
make sure I stay in the loop. I'll reach out to you, Dennis, as well. And Michael, I'll send you an email with additional information that I need. Thank you guys so much for answering my questions and addressing my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Avril, another thing is Mitch is one of the only guys on the island that has been offered a dual citizenship passport to go not only to the U.S. Virgin Islands, but the British Virgin Islands as well.
Wow. Okay. Exciting. Okay.
Through Commissioner Gordon. Okay.
Okay.
And he's also been deputized, and he's got a badge and a gun from the commissioner.
He's got
What's Mitch's last name?
Prodani.
Mustafa Prodani.
His actual name is Mustafa. His American name is Mitch.
Okay.
Mustafa Prodani. The family owned the Champion Spark Plug Company, the Champion Aeronautical and Pro Gasket Aeronautical. They divested the Champion Spark Plug Company, but kept the two aeronautical companies. The two aeronautical companies deal directly with the Department of Defense only. They also have an ammunition company in New York.
Guys, we got a lot of questions that our hands are
Let's
popping
get
up and
the-
stuff.
Yeah, let's get the questions.
Yeah,
going.
let's get to the questions because we have another call coming up at 12 and I know people are going to be going to that call, so we don't want to go through all the other stuff and not get to questions. Mary has her hand up. Mary, did you want to pose your question for Dennis and David?
Yes, I'll be very quick. What if a person has a UNA and they put it into this trust, don't you lose control of your own UNA?
No, you don't. No. Remember
It-
this. Okay, if I went over and I have 20 something UNAs, okay? So what am I doing? I'm just simply hooking up the UNA to this system. Okay? It's just like hooking up your Bank of America, or Chase Bank, or whatever it is to the system. You still own that account. All right. And your UNA is protecting your asset. You coming into the banking system doesn't take you out of that UNA. It's simply still your UNA is in the system.
Okay, and then if a person wanted to remove their UNA from the trust, can you do that?
Yes, you can
Okay.
do anything you want to with your UNA.
Okay, that's all questions I had. Thank you.
You got it, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Randy Bard, did you have a question for Dennis and David? Just need to unmute.
There we go. Thanks for having this presentation today. Appreciate it. 3 quick ones. Is ISAW and Virgin Financial 2 separate entities?
Yes.
And what's the relationship?
Virgin Financial is the hub where everything goes from.
ISAW is simply a collection agency for the advertising dollars that people are donating to. Incidentally, what you're donating to is for us to collect $1 million to do more advertising. It's not that we don't have $1 million, but we figured what we'll do is put it out so that people can donate for that advertising dollar, which then gives you the beneficial interest in the company, which you'll be able to convert to shares when we offer the shares.
Well, I'm sure
It's the way
if
to
we
show
do
how the mechanism, it's the best way to show how our mechanism can work. And
Well,
basically that's
I'm
what
sure-
we're doing.
I'm sure once you make a quote unquote donation, there'll be a disclosure explaining exactly what you want to do with the money and what your plan
Correct.
is.
Correct. It's
There'll
all
actually, there'll be a live plan that you can go to see it anytime you want. You'll see everything that's going on.
Good. A friend of mine said that he thinks the government can still break through a VPN. Is that true?
I don't know. I have had a variety of supposedly security experts try to break into our systems for the last 6 to 8 months, and nobody has done that yet.
And I remember you mentioned, thank you. I remember you mentioning that the only fees for Virgin Financial were going to be approximately $10 a month.
That's yeah. Now, for the people who got UNAs from me, the first year of service with Virgin Financial will be absolutely free if you have a UNA from me, not from anybody else.
And after that, it's $10.
Yeah. The first year,
So let me rephrase that. A basic system, yeah, for you to just do good stuff and just a lot of the stuff you'll do will be that. There'll be other options in there for businesses and other things that might run more money, but it's going to do quite a bit more functions in a business realm, is per se.
and
Well, if I have,
we can do anything and everything cheaper than anybody else. We can move $1 trillion for like $2.95, right, David?
Yeah.
Well, if I have a crypto account, there's a way that I can include that in the trust?
You simply,
Yeah, that'll be one of the basic features we do. And what I'm talking about is just more advanced systems for businesses to run through.
right. So you'll be able to hook up your crypto wallets, everything that you have.
You'll be able to
into our-
manage through the system, yeah.
Yeah, it'll go as an asset under management into the Euro Capital Trust. That's the name of the trust. Euro Capital Trust. That's out of Switzerland and Sweden.
And then
The,
you'll develop and organize your own platform, which means once you set up in the system, you can now go in and you have a ledgerized system that you can put in your colors, your schemes, your own names. It's like a palette for you to be creative and create what you want.
Understood.
When
And
I have
then-
shown the bank account, when I've shown the bank account to people, this is the first account where you'll be able to see your PayPal wallet, your Bitcoin wallet, or whatever crypto wallet, your whatever one of the 33 fiat currency wallets, all in one place.
Did
So-
I hear you one time mention that they would include a hard wallet?
You'd have cold storage with us, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you very much. Cecilia has her hand up. Good for you, young lady. Waited patiently in line. Cecilia, I think we have a bunch of questions in the chat too that maybe we can.
Yeah, I am addressing all of that at the same time. You know I'm proactive, Mike. I got it. Got it going on. So one of my question is, outside of the beneficial interest doubling in value for shares, is there any other growth on the value of the initial deposit?
Well, the growth is going to come from the fact that we are bringing all these people on. That's where we are expecting the growth to be humongous. Okay. It's like getting in on the dot-com boom or whatever early, and the growth is coming from the Virgin Financial Service Euro Capital Trust expanding and the value of our assets going up tremendously.
Okay.
Are we talking about ISAW or that's what we're talking
Well,
about,
this
right?
the beneficial interest is a ISAW deposit, right? And that's going into the trust before ISAW goes with the IPO.
Right.
So
Yes, ma'am.
what will those beneficial interests be held inside of Virgin Financial, since Virgin is the hub, where ISAW is one of the byproducts of the company, or how does that work?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. It's Virgin Financial is using the unincorporated nonprofit association. So when you make a donation, you can write it out for your taxes. And then that is now going into the system at double the beneficial interest value. And you just let it sit there until such time as we go. Or you can sell it earlier if you want to, if somebody wants to pay you for the money for what you got in there, the value, and you say, look, because our value is going to be increasing tremendously month by month by month.
Okay, and those month by month interest or value increases reflect in that beneficial interest dollar value, or do they show once they're converted to shares? Where's the gain show at?
Right now, it's not going to show in the dollar value that you have, because we can't give you something that we don't have yet. Okay, but the potential value is going to go up. So we are not going to promise you 10 times the money in 6 months or whatever. All we're going to tell you is the value is going to go up, and when it does, you'll be able to cash it in.
Great. Okay. How would you be able to prevent overspending of funds using the QR code bump when there's no service? Suppose somebody does a bump while there is no power and they have overspent. Is there a safeguard for that?
Yeah, the ledger.
Yeah.
You will never be able to overspend because the ledger won't allow you to do that.
So the ledger runs when there's no service and a power outage is still continuous?
It continues on, yes.
Okay, that's great. And then with regard to Virgin Financial Service membership, those of us who KYC'd and have our codes and keys already, will the information remain the same once it's opened up to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Nicole Broughton had a question about the money sitting in the trust. She asked, will it earn interest?
We're not an interest-bearing account.
Non-interest
no.
bearing. Will we be an investment gaining account? That's my question.
That's the, okay, remember this, we're not calling it an investment because we are not selling anything. You're making a donation and you're going to exchange that for beneficial interest in the company. Not buying shares or anything.
Yeah, you retain your receipt. You'll have you'll have 3 different types of receipts we'll give to you. And what will happen is once we reach a level, and I believe it's $1 million in donations, we will offer you the opportunity to do that. And will trade in your receipt for beneficial interest in the trust.
You will get receipts and a certificate saying what you own in there.
So aside from the beneficial interest, when Virgin Financial is open to the public, and this is my question, piggybacking off of that one, will other deposits into our Virgin Financial accounts be segregated from that initial interest deposit?
Yes.
Oh, everything is separate.
That initial deposit is going into ISO. It's not your bank account. Okay.
So the funds in Virgin Financial, do they gain interest?
No, we're not a bank.
Not a bank.
We are a bank.
So clearly
we're not
a
a bank.
non-interest entity altogether.
We're non-interest bearing accounts. And the reason why is because our money isn't traded. It isn't used for fractional reserve banking. It isn't used for anything. It sits in spot. Now, opportunities will come that can offer you the opportunity, but that's only by your choice. It's your money. You get to choose what you do with it. There'll be ones that'll be high risk. There'll be ones that are very low risk and no risk whatsoever that you could put your money into if you dare choose to do it. That's what the system's about. More the freedom to do with your money what you want to do instead of doing what the bank wants to do with it and giving you a fractional amount of what it's valued.
Got it. Okay.
Right now, most people, including myself, have trouble moving anything more than $50,000, even with a wire transfer. Okay, so I was told I can't move anything more than $50,000. So this is with us, our system, you can move $1 million by pushing a button and nobody will know that you did it, the trust did it. Because the money never moved. It's all in the trust.
Okay. Nicole also asked, did you say that there will be a training for how to use the different aspects of VFS, that's Virgin Financial Services, at a later date?
Most everything is like 101, meaning when you get into the system and you say, I want to trade, you push the button trades. Then it's going to come up and say, okay, what do you want to trade in? You push that button, then it'll tell you how to go about doing that. So it's all laid out for you step by step.
Okay.
And yes, there will be courses that we'll run in different Zoom calls that we'll do to help assist with that.
Randy just asked if you can put money market accounts. You can put any account into the system. You can put your IRA. You can hook up anything into the trust, okay? But your IRA still remains where it is, okay? So you need to understand something, that once we take it into the trust, it's not going to be earning money. So you don't want an individual retirement account to go into the trust or an KEO plan, etc.
Okay,
I mean,
Larry asked.
This is so advanced to the system is basically it educates you on how to utilize. It teaches you how to be financially smart. Like, here's an example. I'm not saying do this, but here's an example. Say you have an IRA and it's a big IRA. Why would you just let it earn what it earns when you can take a loan and put it somewhere else where it'll earn double that, right? And literally pay itself back and earn more interest on top of what it's earning already. There's just mechanisms nowadays that we can utilize within a system that's secure, that we could show, the system can show you ways to compound on what you're doing already. If you understand that.
There was another question in the chat by Larry. He asked, how does the company generate revenue for people who the $1,000 doubles?
That's exactly what we said. As the value of the company increases, okay, we are giving you $2,000 in beneficial interest in the company.
Okay,
As the
so it's
company's
based on the
value
growth.
increases, that's what's generating your value.
Yeah. So a good example is let's just use YouTube as an example, because it's kind of a YouTube on steroid system that I saw is. If you only got, and we're going to promote and advertise ISAW hugely in some of the largest markets in the world. If you only got 1/4% of what YouTube does in business, your company would be valued at over $100 million. No joke. That's how big YouTube is. Remember, 1/4% of what they do. And we're going to do way more than that.
One more question from the chat is from Jocelyn Mason. When is the trust created, before joining or after?
Well, the trust is ongoing right now. Euro Capital Trust is ongoing. All you're doing is joining the trust. Let's put it that way. Okay. So we give you trust documents, you fill them in, say, I'm putting my house in, and now you don't own that house, you're the beneficiary of that trust. You can do whatever you want to, you can sell it, you can, rent it, you can do whatever you want to, but the trust, it's in the name of the trust, not you. So it's protected. Somebody coming after you can't touch it because it's in the trust.
Randy asked if you could, what's the benefit of placing the home in the trust? Can you place a bank account that is a money market account in the trust?
Yes,
And yes,
I
you
that.
answered that, right? That was the question you just answered before. All right, I'm done. Thank you, Antoinette, for being so patient. Your hand is up. I'm just gonna ask you to unmute. Antoinette Doss?
There we go.
I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's all I got is patience, girl. Thank you,
morning.
David and Dennis for doing this. We need some. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for this virtual financial, but thank you so much. Just
Tell you
real
what,
quick,
David
I just gotta get up.
David and I've been waiting for you to.
You wait till the book and the movie comes out. Let me tell you that. That's all I can say.
Oh my God.
Because for all the stuff we went through, it's going to be the greatest movie you guys ever saw. I can tell you that.
I know, right? Okay. When we get all going up and going, and we are linked to our bank, and I understand with our banks, our money is protected. It just show on paper that our amount is there, but it's over in financial. Okay, and it's over in financial in the trust.
Right. What happens is on the first day of every month, your account shows the amount of money that you had in your bank, but immediately after that, it's back in the trust. Because it's on a short-term trust, which is month-to-month trust account, that is what gives the FDIC unlimited insurance for you. Okay, so you have unlimited insurance on your funds, not 250,000, but unlimited, because it's in a short-term trust.
Okay, good. I got that so far. Now, with the short-term trust with Virtual Financial, am I allowed with my own personal UNA? Can I tie that in with this trust with Virtual Financial?
Correct. You would simply, if your house is in a UNA, you simply, put that into the trust. It's still in there in the UNA, but now it's controlled by the trust as well.
Right. No, I'm talking about my personal UNA. Can I tie my personal UNA with Virtual Financial Trust UNA?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
okay. So when I withdraw, like you say, the ledger, the books, the full accounting, balancing the sheets at the end of the year, when would it show that when I withdraw from your trust, Virtual Financial, I withdraw and put it in my trust where my bank account is? Can I do that?
Yeah, whatever you do, it's going to show on the ledger.
Okay, because I want my money to be withdrawn not under my Social Security, but under my trust EIN.
When you say your trust, are you talking about the Virgin Financial Trust?
No, I'm talking about my personal UNA trust.
Okay. Do you UNA
when I withdraw money out?
When you withdraw your money, you're going to put it into the UNA, right?
Right, my personal UNA.
And you donate it to your UNA.
Right, donate it to my personal. Yes.
Right, but then you're going to hook up your personal UNA as well to Virgin Financial. Okay.
Right. Yes. That's what I want
That's
clarification.
exactly what you're doing. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now we're able to donate into our own personal trust. Okay, I got it. That's perfect.
Right. It's just like it's your own personal bank account. Okay. So understand this. You could have $1 million sitting in your Bank of America. The account shows $1 million sitting there, but the bank cannot use it for fractional banking. They can't use it for anything. It's
no longer their asset.
It's not their asset.
Okay.
We notify the bank immediately that we are now the custodian of the funds in there. We have it in a trust.
Yeah, this is why if the bank collapses, your money is out already. It's not even there. It's basically it's secure.
If every bank in the world was to shut down tomorrow, your money is still in our trust available for you.
Okay, let's move forward. We've got a couple more questions here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette. Nicole in the chat asked if Dennis, if there was would be training for how to use the different aspects of the VSS. Have you guys developed any type of a training platform?
We already answered that, Mike. We went through all those questions.
I didn't hear that question, so that's why I was asking. Okay.
Yeah, we will have training platforms for the for people who are onboarding, for sure.
I just like Nicole, so I wanted to repeat her question.
Yeah,
it was a great question and a great answer too.
I'm sorry I missed that. Pat has he or she has her hand up. Pat, did you want to unmute and pose your question?
Yeah, there's a couple of people with their hands up. So.
Can you unmute, Pat?
Pat, there you go.
Yes, my question was answered. Thank you.
Okay.
No need to repeat it.
Okay. Thank you, Pat. Next up is Rick Russell. Rick, did you have a question, sir?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank y'all for your time and this wonderful call. Is there any way we could get some kind of a timeline or even a deadline on when we can donate to ISOL? I mean, like, you know, the end of the year, anybody that donates before then will get double whatever. I mean,
yeah, you can donate now. Actually, what you can do is you can go to your you can either send them a check. I've had a couple of people mail me checks, which I deposit into the ISOL account. I've had people sell the funds directly into the ISOL account.
It's not now that I'm worried about. It's when is now no longer going to be available. It's what's the deadline? How long do we have to collect this money?
It's gonna be in the next, at least I hate giving these dates. It's gonna be in the next week. Let's put it that way. I'm not gonna give a day, but it is gonna be really quick.
So could y'all have like an introductory period for people to still be able to maybe get into that, or is it just when you open, it's done?
That's
when we open, it's done. Yeah. And it's only because it's development cost. That's all. Once that development cost was met, which it has been, all we're going through right now is some IT people that are adjusting the website right now and adjusting everything so it fits better on the phone apps and stuff on the phone. Because sometimes when you do stuff on a website and you try to get it on the phone, all the letters are messed up. So we're reorganizing the site with some guys. I mean, that's what actually Mitch was doing this weekend, actually. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for the questions. Hey, in the chat real quick, Doreen, Dennis asked, does that mean that the bank cannot reject a wire if connected VFS?
Correct, because it's going through, remember this, if the person who's wiring it, going into the VFS system, it can't be rejected because it's coming into us, it's going into the trust account, not that bank. That bank can't do anything.
The nice thing about our system is if there's anything questionable about it, our KYC is so thorough, and what we do is that we make up the balance, which means the trust will guarantee the money. This is why it's always instantaneous, because we always guarantee the facilitation.
The best thing anybody can do is, let's just say that Big Daddy, you're in London and you want to send me money. I would say, look, download the app. I'll send you my QR code. You go to the QR code, take my QR code and transfer it from your QR code to my QR code. Push the button. I got it instantly because the money never moved. You're already in the trust.
Yeah, and if in a purchase where we do a Visa card, MasterCard purchase, there is a time lapse there. This is called batching every day. But even during the batch, there's still a time lapse, right? We just justify the time lapse, which means we make that payment and then we justify it later. That's why everything's instantaneous. When a payment goes through, there is no waiting anymore. That money's instantaneously in the vendor's account.
And let's just say that, David, that example of if you wanted to send dollars to Philippines in pesos, the system will automatically take your dollars, and maybe the dollar is only good to one. You get 50 pesos for $1, but if it was in pounds, you get 100 pesos for $1. Well, the system will automatically take your dollars, convert it to pounds, and now exchange it for you. So you get a better.
Yeah. So Trump talked about a system. This was a few weeks back, about a month back. He says we have systems now that will save hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars a year in unrecognized fees. That was us. That's us. He already announced ours. He already put us out there. He says there's a new department we have now. I won't say what it is. I'm not really allowed to yet, but we're what part of the agencies at this point. And this system will save hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars a year in unrecognized fees that weren't necessary. Fees that are being charged that most people don't realize that we're losing bucket loads of money over.
Just think,
all these fees will be taken out.
Right. See, right now, when you go and you make a transfer from your bank and you don't have enough funds in there, they charge you a fee because you didn't have enough money. You're already broke and they charged you a fee again for it. Well, you won't be able to do that transfer with us if you don't have the funds in there. So we're not going to charge you any extra money for it. It's your money. It's going to be the old savings and loan association type program. That's what we are, savings and loan. Your money goes into the savings account and you decide whether you want to loan it out and make money on it.
Okay, who's next on the questions?
Gregory Jane in the chat asked, can you provide smart contracts for the bots?
Yep.
They are already all programmed that way. They're all smart contracts.
Got you. Okay. Gene has his hand up. Gene, did you want to unmute and pose your question?
Good afternoon, almost afternoon, guys.
Okay.
I have so many questions. I honestly am not quite sure where to begin, but I'll give you a couple to start pondering over.
Yeah,
What,
we have another
I
call
know.
coming up, Gene, at
That's
12
fine.
o'clock.
I
so-
understand that, Mike. I understand that. And I'm trying to be quick here. Thank you very much for that heads up. What form of deposits can be made? And let me give you an example. Right now, money is moved typically through ACH, through wires, through checks, through personal deposits, and so forth. But there are other forms like cashier's checks and bank drafts that are also used typically in the financial world. I'm specifically interested in hearing how sovereign bank bank drafts can be accepted by QBS, and there's a reason for that. I have a connection that can really provide those kinds of capabilities through either API, through eBank with a Q, transfer activities. So I'm throwing a lot of terms out there that may only be recognizable by Dennis and David. But
eBank Q is us.
Okay,
that's us.
Okay,
We are part of that solution.
Okay,
and it's
we program that eBank Q, and we have told people, supposedly hackers, to go in and try to hack that, and they can't. Okay.
Okay.
So all
if there's somebody
fulfillment
else, David, let me interrupt if I may. So in an effort to try to keep this simple. So if there's another platform or another entity that also operates utilizing eBank with a Q through API or otherwise, would you guys be able to accept those funds coming in and also going out?
Yeah, Gene, like I mentioned earlier, no matter where you are in the world, that entity comes in and downloads the Virgin Financial VFS app. Now they're in the trust. So the money is not moving. The money that's in that, I don't care how you're going to send it from one person to the other, it's going to be in a trust, and it's simply debit one account, credit the other account. There's no money movement.
Okay, second.
And the account actually justifies the transaction, which means even if it wasn't approved to go through, we cover it, and then we do the collection afterwards.
Okay. Is there any MasterCard or Visa connection to these transactions available?
Well, yeah, we're part of MasterCard Visa only because we pay them to be there. So
okay, I figured as much. Okay, and with withdrawing monies, then once they're in the trust, can they be sent to we'll call it a regular account, like at Bank of America or Chase?
Yeah, because you're going to hook up that account to us.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. But any account that you have, whether it's crypto or a regular bank account, you hook it up.
Got it. I'm done. I have a reason to speak further with these guys, Mike.
Okay.
Okay. Remember, just send us an email, coffeeandcryptowithbigdaddy@gmail.com. Thanks for bringing it up, because I was just going to reiterate about that. We do have a bunch of requests already coming in, Dennis and David. So
I will send you the how to make deposits to ISO. Okay.
Yeah, and somebody asked in the chat, Dennis, where they could go to the address in regards to the bots to see the contract for the bots. Is there a site where they can go, the actual address to go see that?
Not yet. When they get online, then they can do that. They can go in there and they can check everything out.
Okay, so that was Gregory Jane. Gregory Jane, if you would like to get that information, just send us an email and we'll keep you posted and get that to you. Ray Reed raised his hand. Raymond, did you have a question that you'd like to pose?
A very brief one, yeah. And you may have already covered it, but I'm wondering how you pay from the trust to persons or businesses that don't want to connect to the trust. They just want to be sent their money.
You can do wire transfers to anybody. You can do Zells to anybody from it. It'll be just like a regular bank account. You could take pictures of your checks and deposit. You can go to Walmart or any other place that loads up money onto a debit card, you can load your account from any place that'll take that, that'll do that for you.
Yeah, you can go deposit cash in a Walmart and it'll load it right to your phone.
Correct.
Or a
Okay.
CVS or
You can go
Walgreens.
to any ATM and do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because you have an account number. So when you put that account number in, you're going to be.
You have a wallet,
You
yeah.
have a debit card, you have a debit card, you put the debit card in the ATM, bang, you load it up.
Awesome.
Okay, so we are coming up. We're about 10 minutes from the hour, and I know that call starts in about 10 minutes for some people. Before we finish up, Gloria George has her hand up. Gloria, did you have a question for Dennis and David?
Yes, I put the question in the chat, but I didn't hear it get answered. In reference to your money being in the bank and the bank cannot use it, it's only there for storage. How does the bank make money? Do you pay the bank, or how do they make money off your money?
That bank is not going to make any money off of you.
And the
So
question
can they
is how
close your
does the
account?
no, they can't, because the trust, they have to work with the trust.
Okay.
They don't have a choice. The question is what would the bank do at that point? Well, that's our whole plan. So the bank has to buy their customers back. They don't have a choice.
Okay.
And by doing that, they buy into the system, which in turn holds them accountable for everything they do now.
Just think
So
of
buying
Yeah,
their
just-
customer back, meaning that they become affiliated with the program, or?
Yes, which means they start utilizing our system like a Zelle, but a worldwide Zelle.
Got you.
Let's say you let's say you happen to be in a country where they won't allow you to take the money out of that country. If you join our system and you hook your account up from there to here, you can now move it anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So the whole thing with this was that
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the banks don't have a choice. Once people join our system, the bank all of a sudden starts seeing they're losing their customers very quickly.
Hence,
So
hence the reason why we're having trouble getting up and running fast.
Yeah, the banks don't want these things.
Yeah, correct. They keep putting their foot away and saying, "Oh, no."
Look, we can do business. We're just by default, we're 98% cheaper to do our services than any other system that exists in the world. Just by its nature of the way it works.
Remember
So
this. All of
nobody
these
will be able to compete with us.
Right. All of these other systems, all your crypto systems, you got to pay all these gas fees to move
the
it
fees
from
are
one place to the other to the other, right? And by the time you've lost 5 or 10% of your money just moving the money. With us, there's no money that moves. It comes and it's in the trust. There's no money that moves. I don't care whether it's going from crypto to dollars.
Used as an asset. Yeah.
It's just a debit and a credit, and bang, that's it.
Awesome. Ron just put his hand up. Ron, did you have a question for?
Quickie, yeah.
Gotta unmute, buddy. There you go.
Yeah. As far as like what you guys are talking about, like being able to transfer money like way cheaper than like the banks currently do. Isn't that kind of like how XRP is designed to do too? Like
It is the same philosophy as what XRP has pushed. Yeah, it is.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm kind of like confused on like the UNA and the trust. Is like they're two separate entities, or like the trust is
Yeah, they are.
UNA.
Yep.
And since you mentioned that question, Ron, next week on Saturday, Dennis is going to be back here and he's going to do a presentation on UNA. So if you heard about the UNA and you're curious about that, see if you can get back here with your, everybody's got busy schedules. See if you can get back here next Saturday, because he's going to go into detail on UNAs. And he'll kind of wrap into what we were talking about today with VFS.
And like I said,
and
anybody with a UNA from me will get the first year of service free in Virgin Financial.
Yeah, and as far as the ISAW, now that's kind of I'm already.
You've already put funds in there. We got you.
Yeah. I donated my 1,000 for interest special interest or whatever you call it there, Dennis.
Yep.
But I mean that is tied to Virgin Financial as well, or it's
Yes,
kind of
yeah.
going to be like a
No, that's what you donated to. You donated to the advertising budget of Virgin Financial.
okay, gotcha. And
Okay.
I saw it's going to be kind of like a new YouTube type deal, basically, like
Yes.
advertisement.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
so let's say you made a video and it was really popular and a bunch of news networks came to you and say, hey, how much you want for the video? Right now they go to YouTube, YouTube sells it for you. They make the majority of it and then they give you a little bit. Now you
Yeah.
deal directly with the news media.
Okay.
And you're under smart contract with your trust with ISA. And now that negotiation, we can help with it if you'd like, but the majority of the money goes to you. It's your money. It's your content.
Not going to
Gotcha.
somebody else.
Well, I hope that's the best $1,000 investment I've ever made.
It will be.
Thanks,
right.
Ron. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it, buddy. Stay safe out there if you're on the road driving.
Yeah, I am.
And somebody asked, can you join Virgin Financial without getting into ISO? Yes, I said that earlier. You do
Yep.
not have to make a donation to ISO to get into Virgin Financial. You can do it just by hooking up your bank accounts from anywhere in the world. Okay.
And in regards to UNAs, I hold two that I purchased from Dennis, and my utilization is to safeguard hard assets with property or real estate outside of the country, and also to utilize as the entity or stand-in member for registering an LLC for Sips and Souls Cafe. So a very unique structure, thanks to our very savvy attorney, Ryan Wagner. So I'm looking forward to that protection as well. Nicole, Miss Canada, has her hand up. Nicole, did you want to unmute and pose your question real quick?
Sure, yeah, I'll be quick. I just have a question about being in Canada. I'm interested in the beneficial interest, but I don't see that we have that.
Yeah,
Zelly?
you have it anywhere in the world. You can get into the beneficial interest part. Anywhere in the world.
Like through Zelly, or how?
Yeah, you can Zelle, or you can send a check, whatever it is. I will explain to you how to get involved in the beneficial interest. Okay. It is worldwide. That is the beauty right now. Anybody anywhere in the world can put their funds in to ISO, and they will be at a beneficial interest in Virgin Financial Service.
And we do have a trust in Canada. Matter of fact, it's one of the only countries we had to set up our own trust there because we could do business. So we could do business. Of course, Canada.
Okay, so yeah, I guess my question is how to get money to.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No. Like for the
Awesome. Does that help you, Nicole?
Sort of. I'm not sure what step to take to do that.
If you want to Zelle the funds, I'm going to give the information to Big Daddy, and he'll pass it out to everybody. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
How to Zelle the funds in there, because once you Zelle the funds in, I need an email with your name, your phone number, and your email, which I will have. Okay. And then you will be contacted with the certificates and your everything that's saying that, yes, here you put in $1,000, you got 2,000. If you put in 5,000, you got 10,000. Okay. And one of the gentlemen from Canada just put in 5,000 with us.
Perfect.
So he's got 10,000 in beneficial interest.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Listen, if anybody has any further questions, send me an email and I'll get those questions over to Dennis in regards to getting answers for you. If you want to set up a call with Dennis and connect with him, Coffee and Crypto with Big Daddy at gmail.com. That's the email address. Just send an email there and we will be sure to get your contact information over to Dennis so that you can speak to him privately. We are just about, actually, the clock just ticked to 12 o'clock, so we're at the top of the hour. Dennis and David, I want to thank you for providing your time for us today. Remember, link that was in the chat. Cecilia's going to put it in there again. If you want to be a part of this call on a continual basis and get onto our contact list, just click on that link. It starts off with actually my UNA name, Piccadilly Circle, one of my UNA names, and that will get you to a contact page where you can just fill out the information. There's a little message box on the bottom. Let us know if you want to be in our Telegram groups, and we'll get you in there. Remember, you got to be registered with Telegram in order for us to get you in. So it's private invite only. You won't find our groups in Telegram.
Nope.
They're private groups. So
Hey, Michael, don't forget to play the other video. I think anybody who's still on would want to hear that second video. It was very good.
oh yeah, okay. So let's do that. Yeah, I forgot because I was rushing to try to help everybody to get to that call.
The
But you're right,
call
Cecilia.
link has changed too. They have to facilitate a larger group of people, so they're putting up a new link for that call.
Okay.
Real quick, guys, I just want to end with a word. If I could, I want to thank you all for being on today and listening to what we have. I thank you guys all for your patience. If we could put our focus and our thoughts on transitioning into this new world we're coming into, and that's how I look at it, because this system is going to change the way we do things. It's going to take the power out of the hands of the people who have had it for a long time. Our biggest problem is the central banking system, which in turn regulates and rules our world, even through our politics. And this is why at this time, our prayers and our thoughts to the right focus is so important, because we're being literally devastated by the evil that's around us and put upon a lot of pressure upon. So all your prayers and all your thoughts in the right direction always assist and always help. And I want to thank you guys for coming on. God bless all of you, and we appreciate your time.
God bless everybody.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so much. God bless.
With
Thank
that
y'all.
being
Forever
said,
with y'all.
let's do this and take a peek at what we've got for you with this email here, or this video. I'm sorry, if I can get myself acclimated here. I had to switch things around because I was monitoring all of these emails, and there were a lot of them, Dennis, so I'll be in touch with you.
There's no such thing as not having enough time. There's only what you make as a priority. You make the time for what you must have. You make the time for the people you want to be around. You make the time for your musts. If you need to sacrifice for something you must have, you will make that sacrifice. If it's not a priority, you won't work for it, and you'll never have it. There's no such thing as not having enough money. The world is full of money. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way to get it. If you want money to start your business, you will find an investor. You will find a loan. You will find many loans. You will work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You will do whatever it takes to get what you need. There is only what you make as a priority. Listen to these words and listen closely. Whatever you must, you will. Whatever you must do, you will do. There's no doubting that statement. Your life right now represents all the things you've made a priority. If you're like most, you've probably only made survival a priority. Getting by, paying the bills, doing the minimum. I choose not to live that way. I choose to do more. I choose to be more. There's no such thing as a lack of education. Self-education has made more millionaires than school ever will. There is only what you make as a priority. There's no such thing as talent guaranteeing success. Hard work will always beat talent. But do you want it bad enough? Or are you too lazy to work for it? So you fall back on excuses like talent? There's no such thing as lack of opportunity. Opportunity is everywhere. If you believe you will reach your definition of success, opportunity will show up everywhere, everywhere you look. I choose to make a priority in my life. Big dreams and things I must have. I must have great health. I must have abundance. I must set an example to my family. an example to anyone who crosses my path, an example of I can, an example of when I say something, I do it, an example of nothing is impossible, nothing is off limits. There's no truth to statements like, you get in the best shape of your life. There's only what you make as a priority in your life. If health and energy are your priority, you will find a way to get the right diet, the right program, and you will push yourself until you get to that level you must get to. There's no such thing as you don't have time. You make time for the things that are a priority to you, the people, the things you believe you must do. Whatever you make a priority, you can make a success. Choose to make your life a priority, your success a priority, your health a priority, your happiness a priority. Choose to make greatness your priority.
Thank you very much. Great.
You can sell.
Yep. You
Yep.
can see.
Choices that we make, boy. Make
Okay.
us or break us.
What do you think? Pretty appropriate video. Hey, Dennis, give our best to Mitch. It's unfortunate
Yeah,
that we
sorry
didn't get
that
to
he
see him
couldn't get
today.
on, but you know, he will be on one of these days soon. We've
Yeah.
been struggling trying to get his phones straightened out for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Right, right. Well, that wraps up another call today for Coffee and Crypto with Big Daddy. There were some questions in the chat. For those of you that didn't get your questions answered, remember you can send us an email at coffeeandcrypto with Big Daddy at gmail.com. Yeah, I don't know who that Victor is, but
He's in
we
the
got- we-
call because he's writing in the chat. He said, why does he keep getting kicked out? So somebody keep letting him in the room.
well, only people that can let him in are the people that are co-host, and
Yeah,
I could
but
put-
if they don't know that he's not supposed to be here,
Right,
they just let
right.
him in. Dennis and Dave are co-hosts, and Gail.
Right, right. So anyhow, with that being said, he couldn't clarify questions for me, so I don't know who that person is. So
Okay, we
with
need
that,
to go to your call.
with that being
And he was
said,
invited.
right, yeah, well, we'll have to clarify that. With that being said, we wouldn't be a community if we weren't able to unmute and say goodbye to each other for now. So how about if everybody unmutes and let's just say goodbye for now.
Bye
for now.
Thank you very much.
Everybody have a blessed weekend, best
Thank
weekend.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I invited him. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? He told me somebody else before that. So
Yeah.
sorry, Victor. We don't know who you are. So
Victor, I was gonna say something, refrain. Let me hold my face. So long, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, everybody, for everything.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So how do I get out of here?
Recording stopped.
okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to run. Thank you so much, Cecilia, for your time today. Thank you, Gail. Oh, Gail. Yeah, Gail's here. Thank you, Gail, for your time today. I appreciate it. And we'll see everybody next week for the UNA presentation with Dennis Gray.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome.
The call is starting. All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Be safe, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Drive safe, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.
All right, guys.
Hey, when was the cutoff for that donation for that I saw?
1 week.
Oh, 1 week. That's it. Oh, wow. I'm glad I got
Yeah.
mine in then. Thank you, Jesus.
Hey,
Awesome
Mike,
sauce.
he gonna send you the information for the donation?
So how do I
Just
leave?
please send an email to coffeeandcrypto@gmail.com. Anybody that needs information, send us an email.
Leave meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Thank you,
So
Nandi.
long.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody. Have a
How you
good
doing?
day.
Good.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Mm.
Bye-bye.